There are movies you watch, and there are movies that stay with you long after the screen goes dark. Free Jemima is not just a film, it is a cry for justice, a battle between tradition and truth, and a deep emotional journey that forces you to question everything you thought was normal. From the very first scene, the story pulls you into a world filled with love, chaos, ignorance, courage, and transformation. And by the time it ends, one thing becomes clear: silence is the real enemy. Story overview. The movie centers around Jemima, a quiet, humble young woman with a painful past. An orphan, a survivor, a woman who has known nothing but struggle. Just when life seems to finally smile at her through love, her husband Douglas, a kind-hearted man who rescues her from a life of suffering, tragedy strikes. Douglas dies suddenly, and just like that, Jemima's world collapses. But instead of sympathy, she receives accusations. Instead of comfort, she faces cruelty. Instead of justice, she is handed tradition. When tradition becomes a weapon. In the village, culture is law, and according to that law, a widow must prove her innocence, she must be isolated, she must endure humiliation, she must answer to the elders. No evidence, no investigation, just assumptions, because to them, an outsider cannot be trusted. Jemima is accused of killing her husband simply because she is not from their village, she is an orphan, she has no one to defend her, and suddenly her identity becomes her crime. Jemima, a symbol of strength. What makes this story so emotional is not just what happens to Jemima, but how she carries it. She doesn't fight with violence, she doesn't scream for attention, instead she endures, quietly, painfully, bravely. Even when she is insulted, starved of kindness, treated like a criminal, she still holds on to one truth: I did not kill my husband. Her character represents so many people in society who are misjudged, voiceless, forgotten, yet they keep going. Enter Owen, the big O, the unexpected hero. At first, Owen is the last person you would expect to become a hero. He is a content creator, carefree and unserious, disconnected from responsibility. His biggest concern? Creating viral content. But fate leads him into Jemima's world. What starts as a selfish mission for content slowly becomes something deeper. Character growth at its peak. Owen's transformation is one of the strongest parts of this film. He goes from clout-chasing, disrespectful, directionless, to courageous, compassionate, purpose-driven. And the turning point? When he realizes that Jemima is not just content, she is human. A powerful reality check. One of the most striking things about Free Jemima is how it reflects real-life issues. The film boldly addresses widow oppression, cultural injustice, family greed, youth irresponsibility, the power of social media. It shows how easily people can hide behind tradition to justify cruelty. And more importantly, it shows how one person can challenge it. The village drama, pure Nollywood energy. Let's talk about the family. Douglas's relatives are something else entirely. From the greedy siblings fighting over property, the judgmental aunties, the aggressive uncles, every scene is filled with drama, insults, tension. They are more interested in sharing Douglas's wealth than finding out the truth about his death. And that hypocrisy? It hits hard. The breaking point. As Jemima's suffering continues, the tension builds toward a powerful climax. The village gathers, the elders sit in judgment, the accusations arise, and just when it seems like Jemima will be condemned without evidence, Owen steps forward. The speech that changed everything. This moment, unforgettable. Standing before the entire village, Owen challenges everything they believe. He speaks about human rights, justice, compassion, and delivers a message that shakes the foundation of their tradition. Tradition is meant to comfort, not destroy. He doesn't just defend Jemima, he exposes the truth, that their actions are not justice, they are oppression. The power of social media. In a brilliant twist, Owen uses what he knows best, content creation, to fight back. He streams the entire confrontation live. Suddenly, the village is no longer hidden. The world is watching. The pressure is real. And for the first time, the people are forced to reflect. A victory for humanity. Slowly, the villagers begin to see the truth. Voices rise in support. Justice for Jemima. Free Jemima. And just like that, the same community that condemned her begins to defend her. Father and son, a beautiful redemption. Parallel to the main story is Owen's relationship with his father, a man who sacrificed everything for his son, felt disappointed and betrayed, but in the end sees his son stand for something meaningful. And when he says, "I'm proud of you," that moment is everything. Themes that hit deep. This movie teaches powerful lessons. Never judge without evidence. Tradition should never replace humanity. One voice can create change. Kindness is stronger than cruelty. Growth is always possible. What will frustrate you? You will feel anger at the injustice, the ignorance, the greed, but that anger is intentional because the film wants you to feel what Jemima felt. Music and emotional tone. The soundtrack adds depth to every scene. Songs like "Don't Break My Heart" bring vulnerability, romance, pain. They make the story even more touching. Final verdict. Rating 9.5. Strong storyline, emotional depth, powerful message, excellent character development. This is more than a movie. It is a movement. Flicks and Feels final thoughts. Free Jemima reminds us that evil doesn't always come with violence. Sometimes it hides in silence. If Owen had walked away, if no one spoke up, Jemima would have been just another forgotten story. But instead, she became a symbol of change. Call to action. If you love powerful Nollywood stories like this, subscribe to Flicks and Feels. Like, share, and drop your thoughts. Do you think tradition should ever be questioned?